Tracy Docheff. I'm the Bridging Programs Director. Previously I was the Communications Manager at the Center for 5-ish years, and prior to that I started my time at the Center with the Bridge Training Program. It was the Bridge Training Program for internationally trained psychologists and allied mental health professionals, and it merged and grew into our BREM program, which is Bridge to Registration and Employment in Mental Health. I was looking for a new job and transitioning from working with working with international students who were coming to Canada and learning English, and they were young and they were having fun, and I was young and having fun, and then I started to think more about my career and growing it, and I wanted to know more about working with people who were going to stay in Canada and supporting them in their language learning, and MNLC came up as a job posting, so I applied, and yeah. It was the workplace communications course of the Bridge Training Program. So I was teaching workplace communication skills around how to talk to clients, how to work with your colleagues in the office, what's a good email to send, along with improving pronunciation and grammar, like the nuances of it, not just strict English, but how to reply softly or take feedback graciously. It was very new when I started, so I started with the third cohort of our very first bridging program. It was on site, of course. We had 25 mental health professionals in the office from around the world. It was amazing. It sort of separated, very similar in heart to our current programs. Just we were still trying to figure things out. It was new, and we were working with professionals who were highly acclaimed in their countries. They were psychiatrists for national prison systems or working in schools, and they were coming to Canada and wanting to, pick up where they left off. And the program that we had designed to pilot was for case managers, which is not what they were looking for. They wanted to do more mental health counseling. And the reason we did it for case managers is because there wasn't a place for internationally trained mental health professionals in the mental health system. So in Canada, we had psychiatrists as a registered profession, and we had psychologists as a registered profession, but there wasn't a psychotherapist or a counselor kind of position like there is today. And getting into the College of Psychologists, it was really difficult for internationally trained professionals, and so the idea was to give them something that was connected to what they were doing. But now that option is available. The College of Registered Psychotherapists of Ontario, now that option is available, the BREM program bridges our participants directly to registration with that college. So it's become so much more popular. It's very well regarded. The college refers participants to us to help them get in, and the college has been amazing in recognizing the strengths that internationally trained professionals bring and helping them to gain their registration so they can practice here. Now we have 4 programs. So we have this BREM, which is our flagship one. We have one for media and communications professionals, one for social support, so human services for immigrants to use their their immigration experience and be able to help other immigrants, which many newcomers do, especially if they've had an unpleasant experience. They're like, oh, this can be better. And so we're harnessing that motivation to be able to support newcomers in a better way. And then the last one is for C women, so supporting women who have logical problem-solving mindsets to be able to learn coding, to get them into coding. Maybe they haven't coded before, and get them into the IT field in terms of software testing. So it's a position that's that's progressive. They can start with that and then move on in the IT field and have a good salary and good job stability. So that's our fourth one. So many options. So I think one of the best things I saw was fairly recently, at the start of the pandemic. We knew that our newcomers would be highly affected because they're in vulnerable positions. They're in part-time jobs, they're in public-facing jobs, they have long hours, they live in crowded homes where the virus could spread easily. So we knew that there would be challenges for our newcomers, and we heard about the vaccine and started, before it was available, started reaching out to our networks to try and find, like, how can we get this vaccine once it's available to our newcomers? And we knew that they would want it. A lot of the public messaging was around, the uptake not being as strong for some racialized communities, and it's not because of the communities not wanting it. It was around how to get it from someone that they trust and how to communicate the messaging to them in a way that resonates with them and refutes any misinformation that they might have heard from other sources. And so we were able to find a community partner to host us free of charge for a vaccination clinic within the community. We partnered with Humber River Hospital to bring in the vaccine, to administer it, to support, and it was full. The newcomers came out in droves to get the vaccines really early on. And it was so popular that non-newcomers were starting to line up and knock on our doors, and it raised awareness of the center at the same time, and the work that we were doing. So that was really, really nice to see how it all came together in the end, and people were really happy with that opportunity. So if I think about my time at the center, at the beginning part, I wasn't so involved with the center. I was an instructor. I kind of heard about things as they were happening, but as I got more and more involved, I could see some of the really amazing things that were happening. So one of the things that comes to mind, because it's very recent, is our partnership with Humber College Faculty of Health Sciences and Wellness, and it's around, we have created a Health for All partnership, which is a group of Humber and us, MNLCT, and two other partner organizations that are creating clinics in the community to be able to support vulnerable clients. So ours specifically is for newcomers, anyone in the community, but our target, of course, is newcomers. And we have one for St. Francis Table, which is in Parkdale, and they support people who are experiencing homelessness or marginally housed. And the other one is CMHA Peel Dufferin. So by having all of these different partners to get together, we're able to bounce ideas off of each other and learn about what works in one clinic and what may not work in another. And so we have it at our Finch office. We have student nurses who come in the fall semester and in the winter semester. They have a faculty supervisor. They're serving people who come to the center in whatever state of need that they are. They need mental health support, they need physical health support, they're having a baby, their mother is sick and their kids are sick. Like, people are coming and getting that support, which connects us to the community in a more grassroots way than we which is like we were at the very beginning. At the very beginning, you know, and we talked to Betty, she talks about bringing newcomers from the airport, right? Like actually grassroots walking together with them. And I think the clinic is a way for us to re-engage with that grassroots level of connection for people. So it's really nice to see them come in through the clinic and then access some of our other services, or vice versa. I mean, you come in through a MNLC and access the clinic. So that's something that's been amazing. Of course, the bridge training programs. It's an honor to have 4 programs. 4 programs running out of a settlement agency, and a small settlement agency is pretty awesome. And the clients get holistic care, because so they're not like going to a university or to a college and focusing only on their academic part. We work with them to think of their whole life goals and what it is that they're trying to do. You know, Canada's an opportunity. When you come, it's a new start, so you can change direction. Sometimes people are doing things that, you know, their parents said that no, they should do something else, but when they come to Canada, they get the opportunity to change direction and reevaluate and maybe choose a new career. So it's really cool to see that. So for bridging programs, we've had the BREM program for a long time, the mental health one, and the clients that were coming from that program were coming from positions of power and prestige in their own countries and coming to Canada. So they were often coming in a sort of organized way. So they had housing, they had some money, they had some family to support them. Really, what they mostly needed was this career integration support. Of course, there's always settling that happens, but it wasn't so necessary 10 years ago. Now, with the breadth of offerings that we have and with the world situation now, it's really, really difficult. So people are trying to continue their career. They're trying to find a job that's not a survival job, you know, just working at a factory or at a fast food place. They're trying to find a meaningful work experience while supporting their family. Maybe they're in a shelter and, you know, taking classes in their room in a shelter somewhere. Maybe they need food. They need mental health support in terms of, you know, this is really different, and they might have not have come voluntarily like many of our participants did in the past. So, so the challenges are, you know, pretty big, and for them to be continuing their education at the same time, you know, kudos to all of our successful grads and the ones that are still pursuing their success. Yeah, it's hard. So for the center, the integration of services that we have is what is really unique about it. And so coming to pursue their career opportunities, but also having someone to talk to about, you know, I need childcare because I can't focus if my child is bugging me in the background, right? Oh, I need to get out of the shelter so I can have, you know, more stability for myself while I'm doing things. And to be, for the bridging program, to be able to refer to within our own organization, it's like one-stop shopping, right? The clients don't have to go somewhere else and find something. It's right there. And we can support many times, although bridging clients don't need it because their language skills are high enough, English language skills, but we can still support in many other languages as well if that's something that they need help with. Five years. You know what? I would love if the center had its own housing in some way, because the flow of people that come in and we know that they need help, and we can only send them elsewhere to, you know, apply for a position on supportive housing or for the shelter. But if we were to have something that would house our newcomers, it would be coming back again to the beginning of the center when we had some more housing support for the clients. And so that would be there's a lot going on. So when you come to Canada, you want to do it all, and you need to do it all as fast as you can, right? And so how do you prioritize what's going to be the best for you? And many times, beyond food, clothing, and shelter, many times it's a job right away, and then a better job, etc. And people leave behind some of the things that they enjoyed, or that gave them a sense of community. And so if you used to play tennis before you came to Canada, and then you come to Canada, I suggest playing tennis again. Try to find that tennis connection. And not only is it, it's stress relief, it's also community, and you speak the same language. That sports language is the same. You start to feel a little bit at home in that community as a micro community of tennis, right? And then it helps with your jobs as well. It helps with your school connections, because the people there get to know you as a person, and they start to think about you and want to help you, and you have those connections that are meaningful, not just the LinkedIn job connections where you're like, yes, I connected, now I'm done. You want to make those really personal connections, and that's I think sports is an amazing way to do it, or whatever hobby it is that you might have. Canadians are pretty willing to help newcomers on a human level, right? If you start saying, how do you help newcomers? It sounds like an academic sort of process, right? But if you say, hey, here's my friend Joe, you can help that person by doing what you would do to help any person. I think that's it. It's as simple as that. I'd like to wish the clients peace, internal peace with their situation. It might not be what you want it to be right now, but know that there are people here that will support, and organizations that will support, and I wish that they get settled in a way that's meaningful for them, and that they're happy. And that's my wish.